Welcome back with me, with David Hurst and with Mark Halsey. Now, if the Ref Show studio was the headmaster's study, just picture that, then one referee would be appearing here a lot more regularly than others. And the irony is, actually, he is a headmaster. We're talking here about John Moss, who by common consent is a very good guy. We've got no agenda against him. I'm told he's also an extremely good public speaker, but I have noticed the frequency in which he's mentioned in this studio. And yet again, it seems as if he needs a few exercise books stuffed down the back of his trousers following the weekend game. This was the Crystal Palace defeat at West Brom. Mark?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the week before he got a big major decision wrong where he sent off the West Ham player, which when I saw it was never a send-off, and I knew West Ham would win the appeal. But when a referee of that stature makes errors, once again, you've got to look at why he's made that error. And when I look at the first penalty, the push on Dan, I look at John Moss's positioning. Now, the corner's come over from the right, and I look at John Moss's positioning. He's at the far edge of the box, so the ball's coming over. So he's standing right on the corner of the box or just in. What are you going to see standing there for all the bodies when it's about reading the play and anticipating play, and you know where that corner's going to come. You know where it's going to drop, where all the players are going to be. That tells you. So you're moving, so you've got that. You're right in the centre. You're just outside that D, and you can see what's going on.
So
for me,
the other one was a trip.
Palace, yeah. For me, the reason why he's missed that one is because he's in the wrong position. Yeah. So that's why he's missed out. The other one, it's just his recognition of foul, non-foul. And I think, as I say, for a referee at that elite level, I just think it's poor recognition at that level.
Well, we've done a breakdown via Glenn Turner, who's our stats man on youartheref.com, and we reckon that conservatively, John Moss has made key match errors running into double figures this season. And we called for that search because, hey, we're mentioning this referee again. And yet he keeps getting appointed.
Well, I mean, you look at all referees make errors. Listen, we're human beings. I made mistakes. Everyone makes. Yeah,
really?
I did. Just like you used to miss a chance. You know, you missed many chances. But you accept when referees do make big key match decision errors. You know, 2 or 3 times, 4 times this season. But the same referees are making the big decisions week in, week out. So is it time for me? For me, I think I would just pull John Moss out. I wouldn't put him on any live games because live games are a big game. Everyone can see him. I'd pull him out and just put him back into him back into the football league. Give him a few. I just think perhaps he's lacking confidence. It's all about lacking confidence.
Is he being spoken to in the right ways about his positional sense, about opening up his vision?
Listen,
and working it that way.
And
I mean,
talking from experience and talking to present match officials, no one talks to anybody.
Yeah, well, that's where you've got to, I mean, we do it with players, we've got to officials. Everybody's got to need an helping hand.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's all about putting your arm around someone and just putting them aside and giving them a little bit of loving. Even players need it, referees need it.
Certainly in John's case, it seems to be the fact of, look, you've made a mistake, go out next week and put it right.
That's right.
He makes another one.
He doesn't mean to.
You're chasing it then.
He doesn't mean to. No one means to make errors, and he's a lovely lad.
He's an honest man.
Yeah, he's honest.
Guy, and we wish him and we hope to see him rehabilitated as a very effective top-flight referee.
I don't think there's massive amount of work to do with him because his all-round game is pretty good. You know, it's just that, like you say, a couple of key decisions that he's got to work harder on.
Well, Ref Cam's Andy Martin made the point that he missed some clear yellow cards in Andy's view in the first half of that game as well. So we wish John Moss well. And we raised the issue because of the frequency, and I think we're entitled.
But on the other hand of that, if he starts brandishing yellow cards all over the place, then we're talking about him again. So he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Really.
It's about, as I say, I always say, it's about managing the game, managing the players, and you're going to get some people say, "Oh, that should have been a yellow card."
That's the thing. You're going to make mistakes.
Let referees referee.
Unusual one for you. That was in Chelsea's victory at Southampton. Martin Atkinson, very consistent and reliable. A point has been made about that first Chelsea goal by Fabregas going right back in the build-up to it in Chelsea's half. It appeared there was a foul by a Chelsea player, and there was a flag, wasn't there, by Stephen Child,
and in the arm for the Southampton. And I mean, Costa can count himself very lucky that Martin Atkinson has not recognised that as a free kick to Southampton, because not only that, he lashes out. Yeah. I think it Kennedy. I think it was Southampton player.
So why did he ignore the flag? You could see it clearly. They're in contact.
We're always talking about referee and assistant referee cooperation, and for me, if the assistant flag would have gone up straight away there, you just come in and because it's right in front of the assistant. But not only that, I think the assistant perhaps should have been shouting to Martin that it's a free kick to Southampton. You know, he should have been telling him down the intercom it's a free kick.
Would you have overruled a linesman?
No, not when he's gone up to his flag in that situation. And as I say, Costa was very lucky because potentially it could have been a red card for attempting to kick an opponent.
Yeah. I mean, interesting that Mark says he wouldn't overrule the linesman on that. I mean, at the end of the day, the referee is running the show. The linesman there to assist. You know, and if you as the referee feel that, no, I can let this go, so I'm going to take the brunt of the call. So it's a big call for the referee, but he's entitled to.
But saying that, Ersty, that's his team for the Euro finals. That's the team.
That was his team.
That's his team.
That's
his team going into the Euro finals.
So if you can't trust him, then
if he
something to be said.
For me, if he overrules something like that in the assistant in the Euro finals, where potentially it's a free kick and potentially could have been a red card, you'd be on the next plane home.
Yeah.
Okay, just rounding up the Premier League games before we get on to the question again of abuse at grassroots level. Anthony Taylor's game, goalless draw, Watford, Bournemouth. Were Bournemouth denied a penalty in that, do you think, or not? You weren't convinced?
I mean, to be fair, I know that the Bournemouth manager was saying, and he thought it was a penalty. But I mean, he couldn't do anything. But look, you've got to look at the distance from the ball. You've got to look at the pace of the ball, and he didn't know nothing about
himself. He was going across it himself. Yeah.
So I'm with Anthony Taylor. For me, that was the penalty.
An informed referee.
But I mean, we noticed that Darren Cann, who's one of our leading assistants, he got a photo on the Bournemouth. He was clear through, and he flagged him offside. And he was going on goal, and he's got that wrong. He was definitely onside.
A bit costly there for Bournemouth. We've been inundated since we raised the subject of treatment of referees, particularly in Sunday parks. We've been inundated with messages from local referees who've been threatened or even actually attacked. And this one is typical. It's come from a referee called Nick Coleman. He operates in the West Riding area and says that recently he was punched by a goalkeeper after showing him a second yellow card. The player was subsequently banned for life, so there was action there. But we've raised the issue here in Sheffield from the president of Sheffield Referees Association, Paul Cooper, who's an experienced referee, 46 years old, been doing it for 12 years, and he's been intimidated and threatened, and he's felt moved enough, even as an official, being in an official position, to raise it. And yet, as far as I'm aware, Sheffield and Hampshire FA haven't reacted to that concern. Does that surprise you?
I mean, it does. It doesn't surprise me, to be fair. I mean, the grassroots football, this is a little reason why ex-footballers don't get into refereeing, because that's where they start. You know, and whether the fans or whatever don't like you in the game, then you're going to go and referee their kids, and you're going to get the abuse again. And that's held a lot of footballers back from going into refereeing.
Your son, George, highly promising young player. He scored 2 on his debut, didn't he, for England under-17s? He did. Terrific prospect.
Terrific.
Now, bearing this in mind, have you subjected him to Sunday Parks football, or?
He has. That's how he came up through the grassroots system. It got to a stage where I think he was about 11, 12 years old, where I had to sit him down and ask him a question. And the question was, do we stay in grassroots or do we go to academy? The reason I asked him that and gave him the option of that Sunday morning football was becoming a disgrace. Parents abusing each other and the officials. And I was at a game where it flared up, and I sat George down and said, look, son, there's a chance you can go to an academy or we stay here. Whatever you choose is your choice.
That's a very telling comment there.
But I'd tell you now, I think he chose the right way, going to the academy, and we don't see that sort of thing at academy football. and thank God for that, to be honest. But I have seen some horrendous days that officials have been abused and parents fighting on the touchline over a game of football, kids football, by the way.
I mean, I think what should be adopted now up and down the country at grassroots level is, you have the rope to keep all the parents on one side behind the rope. On the other side, you have the two benches, the two sets of managers and substitutions, so they're away from the spectators, and the fans are not allowed to shout any derogatory remarks at the referee or the players, and if they do, then they have the power to send them away. And I think that's a must now, because it's happening up and down the country.
You won't get too many games finishing the game, because a piece of rope will not stop irate parents.
That's sad. Well, continuing this theme on the Ref Show, with thanks here to Mark Halsey and David Hurst. Keith Hackett, as you probably know, wrote an open letter on the subject to the FA chairman, Greg Dyke, who's been rather busy, actually, lately with those FIFA elections. He's maybe not had time to consider it, but we do hope for a response from the FA and Greg Dyke to that. We'll keep you posted. Thank you for your company, and we'll see you next week. Bye.